each of us in the world.
Recording in progress.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Yes, no, actually some notification I got. Okay. So it is all about that when we are the part of this world, we all have a clear intention, that is, we all want to be happy. And we all want to, remove the suffering, the sorrow from our life. So how can we be happy right now? This happiness, according to all the 9 Indian philosophical schools, that this happiness only we can be when it is permanent, when it is not temporary. Like this happiness will come from the from the eternal happiness, from the sadhanas, from the meditation, from the knowledge of the right things, the knowledge of the what is the reality of my existence. If this happiness will depend on the impermanent things, okay, like the phones, like the books, like the places, the buildings, this and that, then it will come for a time, but after that, when I will get it, I will achieve it, after some year, okay, I will not feel any kind of affection to that particular worldly object. Then what will be about my happiness? Then will I go for something else? If I will achieve it, then fine. If I will not achieve it, then again the same trauma I have to suffer. Okay, like right now, before sometimes I talked about the karma karma. The karma karma is all about, as I said, that we perform it due to some desire. When we have some desire, some kind of kamana, some kind of vasana. So if we see that nowadays all are of us, we are suffering from some kamanas and vasanas, which are the unfinished project. We have some target, that some of them we achieved, some of them we could not achieve. Okay, but what about that when we could not achieve? Okay, what after that event when we achieved? Okay, but right now I am not affectionate anymore for this one. Then if it is all about the relationship, it can be all about any degree, it can be anything about any clothes, it can be the buildings, anything. Okay, so here we would go back, okay, to the Jnana Kanda of the Vedas. Okay, when it talks about that only it can be possible to be removed when we talk, okay, about the right knowledge of our existence. Okay, and that will be not for something impermanent object. That right knowledge I will not go for, to know that what is that mobile phone is talking about. Okay, because it is an impermanent one. If I will get it, fine. If I will not get it, then like obviously it will create some sorrow, and everything will come for a impermanence that even Buddhism talked about. The most basic fundamental of Buddhism, it talks about the impermanence. Nothing is permanent in the world. Okay. Now the point is coming that Jnana Kanda and Karma Kanda, they did their job. Okay, like what kind of actions we have to attempt. Okay, and after attempting this kind of actions, okay, what I can go for, that is the reality or the real knowledge of this world. After attempting this action, I will get the real knowledge of this world and of my own existence. Then the two part is very clear. And on this basic Vedas, there are 9 schools that we have. Okay. And just for the common knowledge, I am telling that among these 9, we have 6, Vedic schools that are theist Vedic school who believe that the Vedas are the sources of the right knowledge. And on the other hand, the 3, atheist school, according to them, that Vedas do not provide the right knowledge. Okay. So in there, the three non-Vedic school or the atheist school, I should say rather, that is the Charvakas, Buddhism and the Jainism also. Okay. So right now that anybody can ask me that, ma'am, you told that, Buddhism and Jainism, Gita, these are talking about, the fundamental ahimsa, this and that. Okay, then I have to say that yes, they do not say that atheist means, that you should not believe on the core or basic principles and conduct of our life that we should follow. Okay. Why it is like, I would like to say here also, in my class also I say, like in the Vedas we have two types of karma, Samanya karma and the Vishesha karma. Samanya karma is what we should not tell lie, we should not harm any animals, this and that. On the other hand, the Vishesha karma is all about that if I want to get a son, so I have to perform such kind of sacrifice, or the Ashwamedha Yoga. Okay, Rajasuya Yoga. There I am sacrificing ushers, horses, some kind of other, animals. So there, if I will say that what, else about, okay, the Samanya Karma, are we not, like negating the teachings of Samanya Karma of Vedas? So if we will go for the Vishesha Karma, then we are not following the Samanya Karma. Then according to them, the Vedas is not completely acceptable. Partially we can accept it when it talks about the Samanya Karma. But we cannot accept it when it comes to the Vishesha Karma. Okay. So there are like many things. Okay. After that, it is all about that, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Sorry for the break, just 1 minute. Hello. Hello.
It's audible.
Yes, actually somebody was, at my door. Suddenly no. Okay. So this is the problem. Now, if I will see that what are the fundamental teachings in Indian psychology or philosophy that nowadays is, very much important to follow. First is the non-violence. Okay, the non-violence is all about the ahimsa. The ahimsa, first of all, not for only, killing somebody. That ahimsa should come, verbally, physically, and from our thoughts. Okay, it is not enough that, yes, I am not pushing my friend. It is also important, I am not even thinking something bad about that person. Okay, if I am not committing three of them, that means I am partially attempting the non-violence, not completely. Okay. Secondly, it comes about that when we are talking about the moralities. Now, what kind of moralities it is talking about? Okay. Is it only for the, not harming or not killing? The morality, it belongs not to the beings only, the living beings only. It is all about the non-living beings also. Okay. On which the Jain philosophers, okay, also talked about. Okay, that we have to be, like sympathetic. We have to show the compassion, empathy to all the, beings in the world. Okay, it can be even our contemporary thinkers, Sri Aurobindo also talked about. Okay, then these are the very, basic principles what we should follow. And one more thing that comes under that is the attachment. Okay, what kind of attachment it is? When we are talking about that, the attachment with anything, with any kind of human being, with any kind of, object. I love this pen. I am attached with my first mobile phone that I bought with my first scholarship. I am attached, with my pets. I love my dogs. I love my birds. I love my family. Everything. My first laptop, I bought with my scholarships money. With everything, so far we are attached. Now with the detachment, first of all, Bhagavad-gītā talked about the more core teaching of Bhagavad-gītā, it is all about detachment. Okay. So first it started with the Vedas teaching. Okay. Two kind of karmas, what we should go for, and one kind of karmas that, the gyan, what kind of karmas we should follow. Okay. And that karmas will bring us to lead us to the actual reality of ourselves. Okay. Now we already learned that what should be the criteria that we look for being moral, being like follow the non-violence, this and that. After that, it talks about the 9 Vedic schools where we will emphasize on like the Vedic teachings also, and some of the teachings what the Buddhism emphasized on, Jain emphasized on. Okay, then now we are coming into the Bhagavad-gītā's teaching, Buddhism's teaching, and very specifically I would like to emphasize on Jain's teachings as well. Okay, like I think that many of you and the people who follow the Jain's religion, they know very well. In the Jain philosophy we have 5 vows. Okay, and it starts with the non-violence at first. Non-violence, not non-violence for anything, to anything. Okay, it can be even that particular creature which has one sense only. We the human, we have 5 senses, 5 outer senses. One particular 6th sense also, that even nowadays people say the mind. Okay, and the 5 eyes, ear, these and that. So according to Jainism, there are 5 kind of beings. Okay, even they count the 2 senses, creatures also. According to them, it is not enough that we are, maintaining the non-violence to the human only. Okay, or to those beings which are visible to us, like, the cows, the mosquitoes, like the goats, the dogs. Okay, rather we should be even empathetic, conscious to those particular creatures also which are even not visible to us. We cannot commit any kind of violence to any kind of creatures out there in the world. We should follow the truthfulness, satya. Okay, satya for what? If I am telling the truth for myself and I am telling something wrong or something, I am lying for other self, okay, that will create the karma. Karma's notion I will come later. But first I would like to emphasize on these topics which will bring us to a healthy life. Okay, if I am non-stealing, I am not looking for somebody else any kind of object, then the brahmacharya, not any kind of pleasure, the desire for pleasure of you can say for sexual pleasure. Okay, it can be even non-sexual pleasure also, any kind of pleasure. That this, if I have a target to buy a MacBook, this is a kind of also the desire, kamana. Okay, then you can go for the a particular like non-attachment. Again, if you see, the fundamental thing is coming, that is the non-attachment, that is the aparigraha. Okay, again if you see that the entire Gita is talking about detachment, when we know that Gita, in Gita we have 18 chapters, 700 verses total. Okay, and throughout the 700 verses, if you will emphasize that, but here because some of the people they confuse Gita as the scripture of Sanatanis. Okay, but it is not true. Gita is not, spoken for any particular religion or any particular set of people in our society. Rather, it is the code and conduct that can, bring us to or lead us to that level which is important to follow. Even in Gita, I would like to say here, okay, some of the people again confuse it that Gita talks about Bhagavad Prapti. What is that Bhagavad Prapti all about? Is it talking about go and take the sannyas, okay, and sit, on the mountains, okay, do the, some of the people, often confuse that maybe the entire, philosophy or the sages or the saints, they talk about, do the meditation, yogas every time, okay, and have some, spiritual visions only. No, this is not. Rather, they say, okay, be in the world, do your duty, commit your duty, be in the world, fight with the, odds, and then you have to, establish the dharma, what is actually should be there. Okay. So it is all about, it is not even entire Gita. I would like to emphasize here in the 4th chapter of Gita. Okay. It is all about the, all about the jnanas. So how it is talking about that, first of all, we have to go through some kind of, sadhanas, some kind of karmas. And those karmas will bring us to the Bhagavad Prapti. Okay. So Bhagavad Prapti will not be possible if we will sit somewhere, do some sadhana, and we will get the this kind of Bhagavad Prapti. To Bhagavad Prapti, we should follow the harmony also. And how this harmony comes? Nowadays, if you see that the counselors, wherever you will go, for the, neuro doctors, they will always say, like every day do some yogas. Okay, do some yogas. If you have any kind of like, you are under medication also. But even after, being in the medication, you have to do some yogas. Okay, it's exhale breathing, inhale breathing. Why they are telling these things? To make the alignment with our body, mind, and our soul. So far, we can count our, when we run first, we pant. Okay, why we panting? Because our body is exhausted that time. Okay, our mind is exhausted that I need some rest, I need to sit somewhere. My mind is talking to me. My body is, exhausted completely. I have to sit somewhere. So my soul is also under pressure that time. Okay, I am not able to think, okay, about the actual happiness. I will always think if I will, not get it, okay, what after that? What after that? What after that? Okay. And all the time, this overthinking somewhere, affects our mind. And why this overthinking is coming? Because our mind, body, and our soul, these are not aligned with each other. Okay. If I just shift the, insight from the Indian psychology just to make our students, little familiar with it, or because, maximum of you are from the psychological background, you can easily connect that if you see in psychoanalysis, okay, what, Sigmund Freud says, that we all have the id, ego, and superego. What the id is doing? In id, it is the aggressive mind. Okay, it has numerous desire. Okay, if I need it, like mostly the infant do. Okay, like I need that chocolate. Okay, mommy, bring the chocolate. Please give me the chocolate. Okay, and we know about the ego and the superego. The ego mostly, making the bridge between the id and the superego, and the superego is the most model one. Okay, like it only knows about the duties, what duties say. Okay, it does not think about that what society will think. The ego's mind think that what is rational, I have to go for that. But the superego's mind always think, okay, that I should go for the duty, whatever is right, whatever is moral. Okay, it can be possible that the society will not appreciate. Okay, but it is moral, right? Now it comes, okay, if you talk about, from there the detachment starts when we are standing at the superego. Okay, we do not thinking about the core appreciation, acceptance of the society. Rather, we are thinking whatever is right, I have to do that. Okay, so here it is talking about, like, because sometimes people, very easily, we are not able to, connect ourselves with this kind of like concept, that how we will do the sadhanas. Okay, this and that, detachment. Like, as I said, the detachment comes when we all only think that what is moral, what I should do, what I should attempt for. Okay, as Sigmund Freud said, okay, everything starts with some kind of attachment. Even Sigmund Freud also say, in his psychoanalysis, if